So I'm here at the Henry Ford Museum today in Dearborn, Michigan. We're going to get one last look at the MUPPET exhibit before it's gone. The Jim Henson Imagination and Inventive, I don't know what it's called. My face is going out of focus, isn't it? I don't know, and I'll show you the rest of the Henry Ford Museum too. Alright, it's Jim Henson Exhibition, Imagination Unlimited. I'll walk right into the gallery. I showed it right. As soon as you walk in, you get definitely Kermit greeting. We'll go around in order. So you get like a cute little video display here of some of his work right off the bat. Look at this Fraggle Rock. This was his first television, I suppose. Yeah, first television. If we get a focus on it. It is very small, but always got to start somewhere, I suppose. Another book he worked on, or was inspired by, it looks like. This is the original Kermit puppet, it looks like. Created around the 1960s, it's like mid-1960s. The Kermit the Frog puppet was created. I'm going to back up a little bit. New interactive puppets here. Sure. Well, yeah, I do need to check the white balance on this. Beautiful Day puppet. If it looks oddly familiar, it probably is. It was built for unaired commercials for General Mills snack food Wheels, Flutes, and Crowns. In 1969, it appeared on a Muppet sketch on the Ed Sullivan Show. It's familiar. I think I've seen this before in Muppets. These guys are definitely legendary. This is pretty much where Kermit originated. There are these Wilson Coffee, or Wilkin Coffee commercials. They're Wilkins and Watkins. I assume Wilkins is the green one, Watkins, the opposite, is the red one. It's funny because in all the commercials he's black and white, so you don't see him as red, you just see him as, well, gray. More of his scripts. The further you go, the more you start getting into iconic territory. Someone's missing from over here. Yeah, Wormy, or whatever his name is, Slimy. It's Slimy, not Wormy. I'm thinking SpongeBob, but yeah, it's Slimy in the Circus. if you look closely, you can see that Bunsen Honeydew, he is made, it says more out of foam than it is like actual puppets. Same for Beaker, they're made out of like foam, like it says vinyl, paper, and polyester, so they're not like soft material.
Running gags for the show.
I'm going over here really quick, I see him. There you go, Alex. You know who that is. You know who that is. He's singing Benny and the Jets. You know who he is. This is every Muppet Show episode ever, it looks like. Yeah, every episode of the Muppet Show put like on the, what is this, something by something block on the wall. This is ideas folder. This is ideas for thoughts on the Muppet Show and stuff. And musical number ideas. That's pretty much my thing too. Oh, he had a thing for Eleanor Rigby. Well, I've seen it. I know what it is. It's not Eleanor Rigby, like, you know. More ideas. A script. Unused material. Ah. These are puppets of Jerry Nelson, Jim Henson, and Frank Oz. They were used for, it says the Perry Cosmo Winter Show. And they were a country group trio in this, so pause it and read it for yourself. That's Jim. I think that's Frank, and that's Jerry Nelson. I think? It says it in order on here, so yeah. These guys have to be my absolute favorite. These are Muppet Baby puppets. Because they were a concept in a Muppet movie. I believe Muppets Take Manhattan. Yep. So these are Muppet Baby puppets from the Muppets Take Manhattan, and these are definitely my favorite. They're so adorable. The info about them if you want to pause and look. Definitely Fozzie's definitely the cutest of the two, but still, these are from the movie. These are absolutely adorable, and if I would, I'd buy them and take them home. These are celluloid animation sheets from Muppet Babies, the cartoon. For those who don't know, cartoons before the digital age were made on celluloid sheets, like layers and layers, so this is what they shoot them on.
Okay, this is here. How about this one? Wait a minute. Hey, we got the mother story. Get it? I didn't start it.
A bunch of movie posters from different Muppet movies. The Muppet Caper, the Muppet Movie. There's Muppets Take Manhattan, as I just mentioned before. We exit Muppet territory into Labyrinth territory, I believe the movie's called, with David Bowie. These are the costumes that they wore. They are rotating, so I'm not going that fast. They are just rotating as well. The outfits they actually wore in the movie. The puppets are over there. We'll see them in a second. They're a little creepy. Footage of the movie, Labyrinth, 1986. These are dolls from Sarah's room in Labyrinth, like from puppets and dolls that were used in said scenes. These are the puppets from the movie, Kira and Jen. Admittingly, they're a little creepy, but just how they are in the movie, I guess. Fraggle Rock. Look at that is his microphone headset they included in the Fraggle Rock kit. And these are the Fraggles. The red Fraggle and the Wembley Fraggle, it says? Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
And the puppet, of course, is operating machinery, which is of its own. Yeah, well, here's an example of how kind of mobility we get with a system of this kind. Not only manipulate the figure, which I'm doing, but to run the vehicle, which I'm doing over here. Of course, it's a little imagination.
Got some sketches for Fraggle Rock still. So for FYI, this is how Muppet and puppet performers usually shoot stuff. They are beneath like a line, pretty much. Not like a line, but like a playing field, like the camera's lowest playing field, and they're pretty much looking at their performance through a small monitor. This is a television treatment, so it's pretty much describing the world. And like, treatments aren't scripts. Oh, there we go. Treatments aren't scripts, but it's pretty much like an outline. Some also call it a Bible for television. It's pretty much writing down your concept or pitch. So a look ahead, there's really nothing as much over here. It's pretty much, pictures. These are pretty much the last films he ever made. It looks like the one that's on right now is Dog City. There's a list of the movies right here. The one that's on right now is Dog City. Looks like The Ghost of Fafner Hall is coming up. Oh wait, hold on. Yep, Parts from the Storyteller. That was his other series that he did in the 80s. Some Greek mythology, others just, short stories. Produced on NBC. The Old Man and His Dog. That's who would tell the stories. The dog was a puppet, obviously. Behind the scenes of Dog City. So that is pretty much it for the Jim Henson exhibit. I'm going to take you around the rest of the museum now. Show you the Henry Ford Museum is a pretty cool place to visit. We have the 1952 Wienermobile at the museum. Is it ever so weeniness or whatever you want to call it. I'm a dork, I'm sorry. If you're interested in math, this is a world of numbers and beyond. It pretty much shows you how math works. You got some information tablet things over here. Some comic book strips to help you learn. This one's called The Random Walk. Find out what it does. One of them's stuck. It's supposed to be stuck. Wave to release ball. Do not touch. Okay. I'm waving. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then it starts a cycle. Okay, that's cool. What does this demonstrate? Like gravity and stuff? I am being stupid, probably. Celestial Mechanics. This is comic sections. It's pretty much what is this, like illusions, and it shows you how one beam of light shaped like a you know what, just pause it and read this. I'm currently distracted by what's inside. A little blurry, a little out of focus. There we go. Cool illusional stuff for your eyes. Alright, let's go to the Place and Time exhibit. This place is interesting. It pretty much shows you 20th century America up until now. I literally say coming soon, millennial generation. So this they're just calling it movie pictures. This is what original movie theaters used to look like. They were called Nickelodeons at the time. And like I said, 5 cents, all seats, wow. They weren't seen as the movie theaters that we saw them as today. They were normally seen as like nightclubs because they were like a special thing. This is pretty much what it would be. Used to be, because there was no sound, there would be a piano guy sitting up there. I don't know if you can see the piano from up here. And he'd be pretty much playing along to the soundtrack. That's why all silent movies you hear typically have a piano soundtrack to them. But yeah, this is pretty much what it would be. It'd be like a small nightclub. Usually Nickelodeons would smell of beer and urine because that's how, like I said, it was more of a nightclub experience at the time. Yeah, oh, that's cool. Hold on. You can see it, but the piano is actually playing by itself right now. I believe the movie that they're showing right now, this looks like The Great Train Robbery. So what we just saw was the progressive generation. It was people here were born between 1890 and 1919, that says? Yeah. So when horses were automobiles and you had to wind your record machine. Wow, such interesting times. 1900 to 1919, you can see interesting things like 1900 to 1919, you can see, you know, first types of photography cameras, first kinds of telephones, Heinz ketchup. 1920 to 1939, this is all same stuff, like how photography progressed, telephones progressed. That is a television, if I'm not mistaken, right? No, that's a radio. I'm stupid. So this was a radio for its time. It was during the Great Depression, used for listening in because radio became the favorite before television did. So this is blue though. This is actually nice. I'd take this. War of the Worlds. It was pretty much the power of radio. Like they're showing, like, you know, families sitting around the radio. This was a classroom. It says dates to 1957. But it was duck and cover. They had practiced, what, nuclear bomb drills? Like, scary time. Teens of the 1950s. My grandmother might be able to relate to this. We got jukeboxes and stuff. The tiny little record players. Different types of clothes that they'd wear. You had Elvis vinyls down there. Okay, those shoes still look cool though, you have to admit. So this looks like a display for Help for the Beatles. I'm not gonna put on the headphones. I don't trust other people's eardrums. But it's more than just the Beatles, I guess. It was AM radio and FM radio. This is AM radio. You have Stevie Wonder vinyls, Beach Boy vinyls, Beatle vinyls. Pretty much turned a knob until they found a song. That's how you found your DJs and all that stuff. That's how you found your radio stations. And it evolutionized into stereo, which is where the record comes in. Oh, so if you want to, you can listen to how it all changed up, like AM to stereo to 8-track, but the 8-track's not in its display case right now, so it went from radio to stereo to 8-track. It's pretty much the evolution of television from 50s to 70s, and I think it's not that bad of quality. Like, this is pretty good TV. Like, I don't see what people are complaining about. Like, I watch TV on here. Oh yeah, 60s may have the smallest screen, and I've seen that TV on that 70s show before, but yeah. Through the 40s and 50s, you got toy plane stuff, bomber stuff, like army toy stuff. This was one of the first televisions. You see how small it is? Looked literally like a radio. You had books about atomic bombs and how to protect yourself. You had emergency drinking water. I mean, not everyone did, but you could have had. 1960 to 1980, let's just call it. These old, like a Bugs Bunny, looks like. Used to be the focus. Bugs Bunny used to be the mascot of Kool-Aid. Oh wait, no, never mind. The Kool-Aid Man's on there. Just barely. ever have a pet rock, you might end up at the museum one day. Education and technology have progressed with Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock and all their like Junction and all that.
So it's,
Yeah, that's all
this is a history about Schoolhouse Rock. We got some screenshots from it. This was when children's education really started picking up. But, you can see information about each show. It's really hard to see that. It's dark. It's the Electric Company. Got Mr. Rogers, Schoolhouse Rock, Sesame Street again, Schoolhouse Rock again. It looks like the Muppet Show. Yeah, it was the Muppet Show, Sesame Street. Simon, you got Speak and Spell, you got the mini electronic football games. Another exhibit that catches my eye. This is I Want My MTV. This is where you see Van Halen on the screen. You jump in front of the camera. You can see my fat self. Oh wow, it blends in with the mask because of the blue screen. But you can put yourself in an MTV music video. You have the options here. You have Jump by Van Halen, Lucky Star, Madonna.
They got the Oregon Trail, the 4th.
This is literally the millennial case, pretty much. Yeah, these are Henry Ford's violins he had used during 1880s, it looks like. Yeah, he was a violinist. These were all the violins he used. Fiddle, violin, it's literally just about the same thing. He had bought this when he was a young man, so this was pretty much his first. So this is another popular attraction we're going to be heading into. It's called With Liberty and Justice for All. It literally talks about things from Abe Lincoln's assassination to Rosa Parks bus seating with the actual bus inside. So we'll take you inside and show you around. Of course, the South, out of all places, wouldn't adapt the frickin' 19th Amendment until frickin' 70 years later. It's always the South. I never lived in the South. As promised before, this is Lincoln's chair. I believe he was assassinated in. He was assassinated at the Ford Theater. This was the chair he was sitting in. I think it was his preferred seat. Yeah, this is the actual chair President Lincoln was assassinated in. And it's surprisingly clean, like no blood stains or anything. Maybe that's what that dark red stuff is on the back. I don't know. If not, then that's the president's blood. This is pretty much the civil rights section. Segregated America. This right here is pretty spooky. This is a Klansman robe from back in the day. They had magazines and all that stuff. That's a little scary. Like, this is scary. I don't know why this is scary. It's just very scary to look at. Another famous part of the exhibit, the Rosa Parks Bus.
You're allowed to get on the bus again.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All right.
If you did not already know, this is the actual bus Rosa Parks was arrested on.
All right. Is it all right if I film you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Like I know it's the actual bus. Like, isn't like her seat like along here somewhere?
It's right here. This is her seat. She was allowed to sit here. Only these
Alright.
first 10 spots were for white people only. The seats behind the back door were for black people only.
And then when the bus got crowded, they had to move up and get in the back, and she
Yes.
didn't.
These
So
three seats in the, like these three rows in the middle were kind of first come, first serve. Except for a black person could not sit in front of, next to, or in the same row as a white person. And a black person could not be sitting if a white person had to stand. So on December 1st, 1955, when a white man got on the bus and the white section was already full, the bus driver demanded that all 4 people in this row move to the back, and Rosa Parks refused.
So if what I told you was only half of the museum so far, that was literally only half of the museum. This other half is mostly, it looks like cars and stuff. You got planes down over there, a big old plane. Let's go over here, this is interesting. Boss Hog? You can't tell me this doesn't look like a car Boss Hog had in the Dukes of Hazzard. So this whole line here is going to be different presidential carriages from the years. This is Ronald Reagan's, it says 1972 Lincoln, used up until 1992, assuming of his passing. I can also assume that this is also the same car. What did he almost get assassinated in? He got shot in? Usually these cars, these limousines, are made with, I assume, bulletproof tires and bulletproof glass, all that sort of stuff. Imagine Ronald Reagan riding in the back of that. This is the car he got assassinated in. Oh, and it says tragic event occurs, yeah. This was used until 1977. Rebuild and modifications were made, looks like after his assassination, but this was the car he was assassinated in. You can imagine the stories this car could tell. This was Eisenhower's, it says bubble top. I can kind of see why it's called that now. It went from 1950 to 67. It said like bubble top. It reminds me of that one South Park episode when Kathy Lee Gifford went to visit and she was in like a bubble for protection. It's kind of smart though. Oh look, it has like a little like radio in the front. Looks like a radio. If not, that might be air conditioning. If not, maybe it's both. I don't know. President of the United States always gets more luxurious stuff than the rest of us now, doesn't he? Or technically she, depending. This is Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 1939 Lincoln from 1939-1950. This is a longer. It's more like a car, not let alone like a limousine, but still. Right next door is Greenfield Village, so you should see trains all the times in Greenfield Village. Occasionally Thomas the Train. But this is another train that's on display. I'm sorry, there's no sign around. I can't give you any information. The whole line down here is steam engines and, you know, different carriages that would go on the engines. Like, look at it, this is a M&HH or HRR company number 1. That's a cool little thing. It's the same one. This says number 2. It looks like it has like footstools in there. People can ride in, jump on the seat. Yeah, all the way down. You can see the caboose too and everything. Like, looks like another stereotypical Thomas the Tank Engine train. This is the president's locomotive. Rogers locomotive works president of the United States. Yeah, this is looks like a steam engine for the president. That looks like there's like wood and coal up there. And you got his caboose right here. Not caboose, but you know, this trolley car. Another thing you can experience at the theater, it's called the Giant Screen Experience. I am not going in today, much as I want to. I think I just missed the 11 o'clock show. Yeah, I did. They're closing it up. It's pretty much a giant IMAX screen, but it's like a literal more experience. Like it treats like an actual movie theater. It's really fun. Give it a try once. I think I saw Happy Feet here as a kid, and it was amazing. So I recommend going to see it. It's at the entrance, it looks like. Boy, did I come at the right time. It looks like it's getting busy. And it looks like it's also about to storm, so I don't want to head out and get home before it storms.